Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I am Karena Calhoun. This is Go Be Great with Coach Karina. I'm super thrilled to be here. We have on the show today Miss Lilli Bewley. Did I pronounce that right? Bewley?
Bewley, like Bueller, like Ferris
Bewley.
Bueller. Yeah.
Okay. So, of my generation, I can definitely say that.
Yeah.
Love it. So, Lilli, thank you so much for being on the show today. How are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful. Podcasting and talking with people like you is one of my favorite things to do in the whole entire world. So I'm grateful that you're here, grateful that you're doing this work, and I'm excited to drop in with you today.
I love it. I love it. And I feel the love. I feel it coming
Mm.
from you. So I know that's genuine, that's authentic. So, where in the world are you?
I am in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh,
Phoenix, Arizona. So we're recording this at middle of May, and we're just getting into the 100-degree
oh my
territory.
goodness. No,
Yeah.
ma'am. I cannot. I tell people I am of a certain age.
Hmm.
That means I have my own personal seasons. So
Hmm.
being in 100-degree weather is not going to
Mm.
cut it. Oh my
Wait,
goodness. I
where are you,
cannot.
where are you, Coach
I
Karina?
am
Where are
in
you?
Richmond, Virginia. And
Virginia. Okay.
yeah, and we do have, sometimes we do have pretty high temperatures. So I'm originally from North Carolina. And so when I first moved here, people would say, yeah, Virginia's weather, and this is not to, diss any
Mhm.
personality, situations going on, but they would say Richmond's weather is like it's bipolar. Doesn't know
Mhm.
what it wants to do. And I'm like, what? Really? Now? Oh, yes.
Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
true?
Absolutely 100%. Like right now, I have my windows open in the house. It's raining. It's nice and cool. It's a cool breeze.
Mm.
2 weeks ago, you wouldn't have been able to do that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Definitely different. I moved to Phoenix in 2018, and I definitely have gotten used to it, but it was a lot of transition. But for me, if I was going to have extremes, I'd rather extreme heat than extreme cold. So you have to deal with it.
So, where did you move from?
Northern California. I was actually born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee. So I always say, if you hear me say 5 instead of 5, then I'm either drunk or I'm angry. I always like,
Oh my goodness.
but
Oh my goodness.
but I moved to Phoenix from Northern California.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I love it. So, tell us, Miss Lilli, how are you loving on the world around you?
Oh my gosh, how am I loving on the world around me? By loving myself
Oh,
deeply.
I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And it's been a journey. It's
Mhm.
been a journey. I focus on I'm also a coach. I call myself a dating coach for finding love. And I focus on dating and relationships. A lot of people out there, I don't know kind of what your situation is, Coach Karina, but a lot of people out there are in this mode of dating sucks, dating sucks, dating sucks. And for the work that I've done, the journey that I've done with myself, and then growing, inside of me and doing my own inner work, what I've learned is that it really is important to do that inner work to find love. And that starts with me. And it's all been, like I said, it's been the journey that I've walked through as I take women through this work as well. And the way that I love on the world, the way that I can stay aligned with who I am and that authentic woman that I am, I call her the magnetic woman. As long as I can do that in almost every area of my life, not perfectionism, not 100% of the time, because I am human and I do mess up. But as long as I stay on track with who I am and continue to do things for what I want, then that is loving of myself. And when I'm loving of myself, the world feels it. Like one of the biggest things that I want to do in my life is to help 1 million people find love. And that sounds like a lot. I understand. But here's what I've learned about love is that love is powerful. Fear spreads faster, but love spreads stronger. And for me to be a beacon of love in every area of my life, not just like when I'm doing this, not when I have the spotlight on me, but in every area, when I'm walking through the checkout line, when my partner and I just rescued another kitten. I'm in service to love. And that is very loving of myself. But I started with the inner work inside of myself to get to where I am today.
Oh, that is absolutely awesome and amazing. And I resonate with that because so you mentioned not knowing my personal situation. So I am in my forever marriage.
Mm,
My first marriage, I didn't love myself and he didn't
mhm,
love himself. So there was no love in the
mhm,
relationship.
mhm,
My forever marriage, we he loves himself, I love myself, but we were on a journey to really understand ourselves better, and then we
mhm.
met. And so now we make it a point to be better, not just for one another, but for ourselves,
Love it.
and really dialing into that. And I can tell you, it hits different when it's an argument
Mhm,
because it's more of a disagreement, and at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you this, Lily, at the end of the day, we find ourselves realizing that we were we were on the same path, we were just taking a different route. And then also, we will find that we were trying to take care of the other, but
mhm,
communication wasn't quite there, but we
mhm,
realized the disagreement was because we were both trying to take care of the other and didn't
mhm,
realize it.
mhm,
So, when I tell you the forgiveness, the love, the all of that, when you go into those relationships, it is so different.
mhm,
So, I
mhm,
love that you're doing this because I feel like what my husband and I have is not special. I feel like anybody can have it.
mhm, mhm.
Everybody should have it. Like,
Yes,
it saddens me to think that people don't
same,
have it.
same. That's why I'm here. Absolutely. I agree. That's why I'm here. It's like, even with me, parts of myself don't even believe that
Yeah,
this is reality. And I don't know if you feel the same way, but because of a couple things, because of the modeling that I had when I was younger with my parents, was not a loving, healthy, spiritual relationship, which is what I want. That the trauma that I had been through in that household, but then outside of, as in my other failed relationships. And that was all that I knew. And the thing about this healing work is if you continue to do the work inside of yourself, you will begin to see things in your life that you never expected, or parts of you never expected that could even happen.
yeah,
And I do want to say one thing real quick about self-love, because I think it's a little bit played out sometimes. And self-love is like, it was groundbreaking 20 years ago when it came out. Oh, you have to love yourself in order for someone to love you. Yes. But what's scary about that today is women or men that say, oh, I love myself, but they go out and do behaviors and actions, or they have, beliefs in their head of I'm not enough, of I have to perform to get love, I have to achieve to get love. And so there's an incongruence between I believe that I love myself, but I really don't feel it inside myself, and my actions, behaviors, thoughts, and emotions don't coincide. And so that's when we know that we have to have the healing work. Because what self-love has become today is transactional. If I get my nails done, then I love myself. If I take a bath, then I love myself. For me, my concept of self love has become, do I speak up for myself when I need to set boundaries in my current relationship, in my business, with money, with my friends, with my family? Do I speak up for the parts of me that have been sad and wounded and scared my whole life? And do I show up for myself? Do I show up in the ways where I don't let parts of me, quote unquote, self sabotage, which I don't believe it's self sabotage, but do I show up for myself even when parts of me don't want to? Because a lot of times, like, therapy or coaching is really hard because you're kind of doing an action, showing up for yourself in a way that you have never showed up for yourself before. So parts of you are going to come up that are going to try to protect you, like the intellectualized part of you that's really smart and read all of the books and listened to all the podcasts and know your attachment style, or, or what have you. But self-love, if it's transactional, if love inside of yourself is transactional, then you are going to attract on the outside of you, if you're dating or even if you're in a relationship, the same transactional love on the outside. So do I look good enough? Am I performing enough? Am I achieving enough? Do I need to lose more weight before I can, have love? Do I need to do this? If you are operating in an if then paradigm when it comes to love inside and outside of yourself, then that is like the asterisk on where you should start to do the work.
You came with fire today.
Thank you, Coach Karena.
Straight fire. I want every woman listening to contact Lilli immediately, expeditiously, because this, oh my goodness. I remember about 2 years ago, I joined a local organization, business organization. And I remember telling the people that you have to keep in mind that human beings are, regardless of how much they say that they're not, human beings in general are transactional. And that just blew their minds. I'm like, how do y'all not know that? And so I've realized that people don't realize that. They don't understand that. And it's not that we set out to intentionally be transactional. It has just become who we've been. So the fact that you say, if I get my nails done, then I love myself, that transaction, that is going to really blow some women's minds wide open when it comes to the self-help industry buzzwords that's hit the scene in the last few years, because that has been the thing for self-help. What are you doing, or self-love rather? What are you doing for self-love? Oh, I'm going to get my nails done. I'm going to get a pedicure. I'm taking a bath. Those things that you just said. But at the end of the day, like you said, me loving myself is saying, you know what? I didn't like that you said that. It made me feel like this. I didn't like how this happened. And I would really appreciate it doesn't happen again. And it reminds me of, my daughter is 26. And I still, I still try to teach her survival tactics, because at the end of the day, one day I won't be here. And so one thing I've tried to teach her for the most part all of her life is, if mom can respect me and my boundaries in a certain way, then other people should be able to as well. She's my mom. There's this thing of your parents have a right to certain things. No, we don't. So if your parents don't have a right to certain things, then everyone else in the world doesn't either.
Exactly.
So I love that you are walking women through this. How did you get started in this? Like, what made you say, today, this is what I'm going to be doing?
It was my pain. My pain transformed into my purpose. And, I got to a point in my life where, like I said, I grew up, I've always had a loving, caring heart, loving, caring, and kind, always, big heart. When, again, the things that affected me and showed me the way that I was, quote unquote, supposed to be, was the example that my parents had, again, which was not a healthy relationship at all. I lived in an unsafe environment when I was growing up. So there was a lot of trauma and abuse, overt and covert. And then through the years, the relationships that I was in, I never felt seen, never felt heard, never felt understood. I was always the one carrying the emotional weight of the relationship. So that meant wanting more for the relationship. That meant growing. That meant, finding out the love languages of myself and my partner to help us connect, finding, communication styles, setting date nights on Friday nights that never ended up coming through. And what I realized is, and it took a lot of pain. Like I definitely hit a wall where I had like, dark night of the soul type of thing, where I didn't want to be on earth anymore because it was so confusing for me, because I had everything that the world, my family, my friends said that I should have and I should be: banging body, good resume, work for a great company, 6 figures, car, house, boyfriend that on the outside looked great, but on the inside it was not great. So I had all of these things and I had achieved all of these things that everyone told me in my life that I should be happy, but I was desperately unhappy, like dying inside, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And so I had to myself relearn how to listen to myself, because all of those voices that pushed me to do all of those things, they were not mine. The only thing that was motivating for me was what I got in return, which was a false sense of love and acceptance, of belonging. And the journey that I walk today in helping women with dating and relationships is so important, because no one talks about how, if you've been through something that you've been through, like me, again, not a great modeling example, been through some stuff in your life, what happens is that we will choose partners from a wounded part of us, not us, not our highest self us, not the self that's connected to universe or God and our highest good, but we'll start to choose people based off of our wounds. And so we get into these relationships where we're stuck, we stay too long, and we again are the ones that are constantly getting tired and getting tired of being sick and tired, because we're juggling everything else in life and this relationship instead of what you're experiencing and what I'm experiencing, which is a true partnership, right? And so again, this was my work. It was all internal, all inner work to really, and I want people to hear this. We want to be loved for who we are, right? Not what we do. And that took years of unlayering and unraveling things inside of myself, subconscious beliefs and patternings that I had from society, my family, all the past failed relationships that I was in. So it really follows my journey of getting to this magnetic woman that I am today.
So good. So, so good. I could sit and just listen to you like all day. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. So amazing. So, when someone reaches out to you, what does that look like?
Well, I have a few different avenues. The best thing, if anyone wants to chat, I have a quiz called the Feminine Dating Archetype Quiz. So if anyone is interested in bettering themselves and their matches in dating, or just improving themselves in the relationship that they're currently in, they can go to datingarchetype.com to take the Feminine Dating Archetype Quiz. It takes 2 minutes. So that's my invitation. But it really looks at, what I really look at, and I call myself, I'm trauma informed, which basically means that what has happened to you in your life on an individual level is important. And one of the most loving things that I do with myself and I do with my clients is I meet you where you are. So what is it that you want to work on that will improve, again, your matches in dating, how you feel, so you're not so anxious and overwhelmed. I don't know if you have friends that are dating, but some of the women I work with are what I call the chill woman, which is super overwhelmed and anxious in the dating process, tends to sleep with people too quickly and then get caught up, really tends to self-sacrifice and self-abandon herself for the potential of connection.
Mm.
So if those patterns, if people are seeing patterns in their lives, all it is, and this is something important too, is that your patterns are not you. So you are not wrong. You don't need to be fixed. But what it is it's a signpost pointing to where you need to be healed. So your patterns aren't you. They're just a part of you that are screaming to be healed.
Yeah. Wow. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. And my mind is just like racing going through just, different people. Of course, confidentiality, but just different people that I
Mhm,
know. And it's like, oh my goodness. Oh my
mhm. It's a real thing,
yeah.
and people don't talk about it. If you're having those types of patterns in your relationships, like your family and friends, they kind of get tired of it. If it's the same thing again and again. And what's hard is that the internal stuff that's happening inside of you when you're going through this, it it's almost a replication of how you feel in your relationships because you don't feel seen, you don't feel heard, you don't feel understood. But it's a real thing. And we really start to need to look at what's happening inside of us so we can change on the inside to get direct results on the outside of us.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Wow. Well, Lily, thank you so very much for stopping by the show
My
and
pleasure.
really opening up our eyes to this that is necessary, for so many women. And this does not have a color and ethnicity and age. This is listen, women, we need more.
Mm,
We need more. We deserve more at the end of the day. And that deserving more begins with us.
mhm,
So I would love for you to leave us with any last words of wisdom. And then
mhm.
also how we can get in touch with you one more time.
Yeah. Last word of wisdom. I think I dropped a lot of, of good things. I think, the top two things, which is it's not about what you do, it's about who you choose. So important because just like you're experiencing, Coach Karina, and just like I'm experiencing, is that when we pick the right person, we will walk the journey together. Sometimes the man may lead, sometimes the woman may lead, but there is a commitment with the type of person. It's not love is all you need, it's willingness is all you need. A
Mm,
willing person to walk the journey with you, to do the work with you when kind of things start to stop, when we hit a wall or we hit a ceiling. So that's so important. And then the other thing is if you're seeing patterns, once again, if you're seeing patterns that you don't like, it's not you. It is just a part of you that is really, really screaming for your next evolution. One of my programs is called Transcendence because we transcend from the level that you are now to a level 2 or 3 times above what you have ever experienced in your life, whether that comes to the feelings on the inside of yourself, whether that comes to what you're attracting outside. But you do have the ability to transcend if you just realize that it's just a part of you that's leading this aspect of your life.
wow. Amazing. Tell us how we can get in touch with you.
Thank you. Yeah, datingarchetype.com. So my invitation, like I said, is to take the quiz, the feminine dating archetype quiz. It takes 2 minutes. It will reveal your blocks to love and help you find your true love match. And then from there, I'm out on all of the socials at Lilli Bewley.
Love it. I absolutely love it. So, folks, we've had another amazing episode here on Go Be Great with Coach Karina, and we've had Lilli Bewley, and oh my goodness, she brought the fire, y'all. So, I will see you all on the flip side. Bye for now.